Hello fellow Tarnished, and welcome to the ultimate starter guide for all things Elden Ring Convergence. If you are new to this mod, this guide should be a good place to help you get started, or if you are a seasoned vet, hopefully you can still learn a thing or two. We will be walking through all of the things you should be doing first, regardless of the class you select, which includes collecting golden seeds, sacred tears, memory stones, and somber or smithing stones. We will also focus on a few things that are new that the Convergence mod offers, such as collecting combat and heirloom relics, as well as opening up waygates that allow travel to any region in the game, including the DLC. By following this guide, you should end up with a character around level 26, 13 flasks at +8, 4 talismans, and a +5 somber or +6 smithing weapon. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, so we are jumping into a new playthrough of the Elden Ring Convergence mod. Note that this is still the beta test, version 2.2.3 to be exact, so if you are watching this and playing on a different version, you may notice some minor differences in what I'm showing, but most everything should be the same. So first things first, we're going to start a new game, which takes us to the class selector. Now, classes in Convergence are important as you are meant to follow a specific path per class. I will be creating guides later on each class, so for now I will just give a high-level overview on the types of classes. So Retainer through Rogue. So these classes here, these are all going to be your non-spellcaster classes. And then you have, starting with Glint Sorcerer all the way through Blood Initiate. These are going to be your spellcaster classes. And then you've got Servant of Rot and Mystic and Perfumer, which are kind of more like utility-based classes. And then, of course, you have your level 1 Prisoner class. And if this is your first time playing Convergence, I'd recommend going with one of the spellcaster classes, as there are a ton of new spells that have been added to the mod, and they're very fun to use. But obviously, choose the class that you feel like going with. Now I'm going to choose a class, but this guide is not going to focus on the path for this specific class. This is a guide that will work with any class that you choose. It basically shows you how to get your character set up properly to set out on its path without feeling underleveled. So I think I'm going to go with the Berserker, because I've never actually tried this class myself. So we'll do that and we will jump right in. And I'm just going to simply name it Berserker, just so I know which class I went with here. I will not spend too much time on the character creator. Now the Keepsake, I will recommend going with the Warding Remnant, mainly because these are the rarest remnants you can find in the mod. Combat Remnants, Heirloom Remnants, Enchanted are a little more common, and you'll see as we're running through, we're going to get a few Combat and Heirloom Remnants as we go through. The Warding Remnant are a little more rare, so I'd start with that as a recommendation. And then again, I'm not going to spend too much time here. We'll just pick a character and we're going to go. Now, I chose Berserker, so I'm going to start in a specific spot. If you chose a different character, obviously you're going to start in a different spot than me. Every class starts in its own unique location in the game, which is pretty cool. I'm going to skip this cutscene here. And actually, to start with, you're going to start in here, which is essentially where you start the game in base game Elden Ring, but there is a ton more here for you. Now there's notes on just about everything that the mod has to offer. Now I would recommend going through and reading all this stuff. I'm not going to do that right now because the purpose of my guide is to kind of run you through where to get all your flasks and your golden seeds and level up and open up certain areas of the map and things like that. But I would run through all this, read all these things. There's a lot of good info here that should pretty much give you a background on everything that the mod has to offer. You can see there's a ton of notes on just about everything you can do. I will point out one thing in this section here, and you can come back to this section, by the way. It is always available to you from the Roundtable hold. We'll look at that a little bit later. There is an owl in here. And actually maybe he's not here yet because I haven't actually started the game, but there's an owl who will tell you kind of your progression path in terms of which bosses you need to fight and things like that. Usually he's in the back there, but I think he moves around, but we'll come back anyway and find him a little bit later. Now you will want to pillage these remains. You're going to get your Tarnished Wizenfinger, Whetstone Knife, Flask of Wondrous Physick, Crafting Kit, and Memory of Grace all right off the bat. So you don't have to worry about collecting any of that stuff. Oh, there's the owl right there. Let's go talk to the owl real quick. Welcome to the Sanctuary of Lost Knowledge Tarnished. Here you can find knowledge of many topics once lost. Feel free to look around. So he talks about the next keystone. So the keystones are things you're going to need to collect in order to get to the end game, basically. There's first keystone, second keystone, third keystone, and I think 4 keystones you need, basically to unlock the forge to get to, you know, the Ashen Capital. So a little bit of a different kind of progression path in this mod than there is to the base game. So he tells you who you need to beat. Either Godric, or Renala, or Einar, who was a new boss, or Dairu, who was also a new boss. Then once you've done that, come back and see him. So we're not going to be focusing on any of that in this guide. Again, we're just focusing on setup and kind of where to go first before you set out on your path. So we are going to jump into that now by leaving here and seeing where we begin as the Berserker. Just getting my notes open so I can follow my own path that I set out for myself here. Alright, so as the Berserker, looks like we start off sitting down, which is always fun. So we are in, what did it say, Stormhill? And there usually will be a item or a chest or something that you'll want to loot right away. And it's going to have your path notes here. So you've got the path of the Berserker and then weapons for the Berserker. Sometimes there's a chest with spells or armor or something in it as well. Berserker just has the path. And if you go to your inventory, you will see your path. Hit X, it's going to show you kind of the main places you want to go as your class in order to either get these weapons or armor. Which you do want to follow these because the armor will have benefits. There's buffs and things to the armor if you're using a non-spellcaster class. And then you know, all the weapons, there's going to be a lot of new weapons that you're going to want to pick up for sure. And then if you're a spellcaster, you're going to have a list of places where you can find all the spells. So again, we are not going to be following this path in this guide because we are going to be just getting ourselves ready for the path, essentially. So first things first, we are in Limgrave, which is good. And there's a few different places we can go to start. Basically, by the end of this, we'll have hit Liurnia, we'll have hit Altus, we'll have hit Weeping, we'll have hit Caelid, we'll have hit, you know, East Limgrave here. And since we're close to Stormhill Shack, we're just going to go there first. Oh, and you do start with Torrent. I need to put them on where I normally like my Torrent to be. You start with the Torrent ring, so equip that where you want it. And then you can just get rolling with Torrent right away. I like to grab every grace I find along the way as well, just so I'm equipped and ready to go. Grab this one. And I'm going to run back this way to Stormhill Shack, just so I have that grace. There is a golden seed there, kind of like there is in the base game. Feel free to grab any items that you see along the way. We did get a large smithing stone there. You'll notice the smithing stones are different. There's only small, large, and I think colossal, and then maybe ultra large. I can't remember the total sizes, but everything does auto pickup as well. So like all these Raya fruits and things, I'm just running over them and they're just auto picking up for me. I'm not pressing any buttons to do that, which is kind of nice. So here is Buckler, if you want the Buckler. Here's Rodrika. You can talk to her and do the whole jellyfish thing if you want. I suppose I'll do that. And I kind of whip through the, you get sitting sideways, and I think you get the jellyfish, right? Same as base game. Yep, there we go, get the jellyfish. If you don't talk to her, no big deal. She'll still wind up at the Roundtable hold. Okay, so we did get this grace, and I'm actually going to go down now to the first step. I just want to get all kind of the basic graces that we want first. Grab this golden seed along the way. And the good thing about golden seeds in this mod is it only takes one golden seed to upgrade your flasks all the way through to plus, I think you can get 14 total. Base game, you start to need, you know, 2 and then 3 and then 4 eventually in order to get all of the upgraded flasks. In this mod, you just need 1 for every single upgrade, which is nice. So you will end up with a bunch of extra golden seeds in the end, but there is a use for that in this mod. You can get a certain potion that has effects. I won't be covering that in this guide, but just note that golden seeds do have a purpose even after you've used them all up. Okay, so we're gonna head over to Elleh, and we'll just grab our items and things along the way. It's always fun to collect stuff. And here we are, coming up to the Grace. Just grab that. And this should be a small smithing stone, I believe, or just regular smithing stone is what it's called. And we'll talk to Elleh. And he's got kind of his regular goods you can buy from him. He's got some stones, he's got the lamp, all that good stuff. You can acquire his bell bearing, which I would recommend getting every single merchant you see there bell bearing, because then you can bring it back to the Twin Maiden Husks in the Roundtable, and you don't have to visit that merchant again. You can just go to the Twin Maiden Husks to buy their items. Now, if you have the right stone, which I do, you can upgrade your weapon to +1 already. I don't have any runes though, so I can't do that yet, but if you did kill some enemies and have some runes, feel free to upgrade. Right now, I would recommend just upgrading your base weapon, because we will be going through and getting a whole bunch of stones and bell bearings and things where once you find new weapons, you'll be able to upgrade those no problem. So feel free to upgrade what you have now with any stones that you find. I'm just gonna grab the first step grace, just so we have that handy. Not gonna fight anything quite yet, even though Tree Sentinel really wants to fight me here. But we are not gonna be fighting anything quite yet. We are gonna do minimal fighting, actually, in this guide. There will be some fights we do, but nothing too crazy. Alright, so we got that. Next we're gonna go back to Stormhill Shack. And we're actually gonna head north to Liurnia. And there's a couple ways you can get to Liurnia. You can, one thing with the mod, there are portals, and if you fight bosses at certain portals, they're usually found at like minor Erdtrees and things. You can then teleport pretty much anywhere in the game where another portal is. You do need to fight a boss and kill that boss in order to unlock the portal, but it's kind of a cool mechanic that they added to the mod. However, we're going to take the easy route to Liurnia here, because you may notice that this bridge is actually intact. In the base game, this bridge is broken and you have to go down below and all around, which is totally fine. You can still get to Liurnia, but this makes it even easier for us. Just a straight shot right across. No enemies. There's a little, not a little, but a big ogre over there, but we're just going to run by him. Obviously collecting everything we see along the way. I got some armor back there. He's going to get angry at me, but I'm just going to keep going. And we're just going to grab the grace up here as soon as we find it. Should be sparkling around here pretty soon. I think I see it up there on the left. There it is. And we'll grab that. Alright, and we're going to continue through, we're going to go through these ruins here. A couple things we want to grab in the ruins. Not necessarily in this top part, but we'll go below, down here. You can kill the enemies, obviously, if you want to, get those runes. I'm just simply flying through this just to make sure we hit up all of the things we need to collect and stuff like that. And alright, so you're going to want to break through this trapdoor here, which I think is the same as the base game. However, our reward will be slightly different, as we are going to get an Heirloom Remnant. So I mentioned in the beginning, there are different types of remnants, Heirloom Remnant being one of them, and I will show you what to do with that in a little bit. Right now, just make sure you grab it. And then we're going to go back out and over here to a Waygate. And again, I think this is the same Waygate as the base game, which will take us to right outside of Raya Lucaria. And all we're going to do here is, again, just grab the Grace. We're pretty much just doing a whole bunch of setup here. We're going to grab the Grace, make sure we have it so we can come back when we're a little bit stronger. Let's grab that Grace. And now we have a very nice presence in Liurnia already. You know, only like, what is it, 10 minutes in? Something like that. And now we're actually going to go back to the first step. Okay, back to the first step. And this time, we're going to another set of ruins. And we'll go down this way. Oh, I don't want to die here. I gotta be careful. Don't want that fall damage happening. Should be a stone right there you can grab. Make sure not to fall in the pit. Grab that smithing stone. Now we're going to go to these dragon burnt ruins. Now this is another class. You may have started here if you chose. I think it's the dragon cultist. I might even be able to get the... No, I guess it's not there. You might start out up there actually, but you could grab their path notes and things if you wanted to. But we're just going to go to the dragon burnt ruins. Grab this one item here. Large smithing stone, good to have, good to have. And then we're going right down in. Watch out for the doggies. They'll get you. Run right by all the rats. They shouldn't bother you, and you're gonna go right to this Waygate here. Get those iframes while we do it. And guess where this is gonna take you? Any guesses? Bet you didn't guess Altus Plateau. That's right, we are officially in Altus Plateau. This is probably the fastest you can get to Altus in the mod without killing a boss. Definitely faster than the base game. Base game, you obviously either need the Dectus Medallion, or you have to go through the Precipice, or kill the Abductor Virgins via Volcano Manor, which each of those takes a lot of time. But we are in Altus Plateau, and again, I don't know how long it's been. My recording is on a different page here. 10-15 minutes, not even that. So just grab the Grace here in Altus so you have that. And we will be coming back. But for now, we're going to now go back to Warmaster's Shack. Or if you don't have Warmaster's Shack, go back to Stormhill Shack and then head east from there. And we're basically just going to run... actually, first thing before we run east, there is a graveyard. I probably should have done this first, just so I could have some runes, but there is a little graveyard over here. And I'm taking the way where you have to jump up rocks, but there is an easier way to get to it. Right here. Whole bunch of golden runes and things you can grab. Handy to have. You definitely want to get a lot of money to start, so you can level yourself up. Watch out for these things, they blow up. And they can do some decent damage, especially now that we're not leveled up at all or anything like that. So grab all these runes. Oh, there's one. Get out of there. I think they're all golden rune ones, which is like 200 runes each, but hey, we'll take it. Oh, I missed one. And those things that blow up give you rune fragments if you want those. Now we will head east. And hey, look, we're back to where we started. Our Berserker area. But we will grab all that stuff. Go through this little area here. I always grab this exalted flesh. I never use it, but it is a nice little buff if you ever want to use it. And then we'll just keep heading here. And we're gonna grab this Grace. Now you hear Alexander. Hello, can you hear me? You have a choice with Alexander. You can kill him, and you can get a combat remnant, or you can leave him be. I'm gonna leave him be, just because I like Alexander. I could use the combat remnant, but we're gonna be getting enough remnants along this path that I'll let him live. But you could kill him, you're gonna get a combat remnant. You're not gonna get his shard for killing him, you're going to get the Remnant, but you can use the Remnant to acquire his shard or another talisman if you want. So we cross the bridge, and we're going to head up here. Might as well grab this since we're here. We're not going to be doing this in this guide, if it'll let me. Come on, pillage that thing. Perfumer's Essence Map of Tricia's Secret. There's a bunch of different perfumes you can get for a little puzzle that you can solve. Might as well grab that so you have it. There's a few different areas where you have to get a bunch of different perfumes. But we're not going to be doing that in this guide, but you might as well just grab it so you have it. Okay, so another merchant here. He sells you some stones, which is good, and some other stuff, but just grab his bell bearing for now. You can always come back to the Roundtable and buy his stuff there. Alright, so we got him. We're going to go down to Mistwood, and on our way to Mistwood, we're going to hit the 2 graveyards along the way, get more runage. Make sure we got plenty of cashola, so we can level ourselves up appropriately in things. And a little bit of platforming here, always a good time. Hopefully I don't die. Gotta make sure I find where it is. Let's see, yeah, keep going straight. Right near these ruins, there should be little drop-down platforming areas. Here we go. Gonna be nice and careful. Oh boy, that was kind of close, but we made it. Platforming section 1. Alright, so here's a graveyard. More golden runes. Grab them. You get a shield. You get the Dreadnought Armor. So if you didn't start as the Dreadnought and you want to use the Dreadnought Armor, that's where you get it. And some more runes. Booyah. And now we're going to go back across. Oh, there's another golden rune right there. I'll grab that. A little more platform. We're going to go back across these things. Careful not to die while platforming. And head to this other graveyard. Graveyard, cemetery, I don't know what you call it. Coffins. I don't know what they're officially called. The things that have the runes on them. Oh, missed that one. Come on, grab it. Grab it. Oh! Get that rune. Golden rune 2. This should get us, I think, 10k plus at least. Alright, there's some Berserker stuff. Hey, look at that. We'll take some Berserker stuff. I don't know if that's my base armor or not. I actually haven't even looked at the path. Banished Knight's Sword. Okay, we should be good to go. Now we're going to jump down and go to the church. Again, a little more platforming. This isn't too bad, though. You basically just have to drop and not die. Like so. And run right into the church. Grab the items there. Now, the Wondrous Physick isn't there anymore, because if you remember, we started off with the Wondrous Physick. So we're all set with that. Just grab the Grace. And I think this is a starting class. Yeah, Path of the Fundamental. So if you're a Fundamentalist, you would have started here. You do get a Faint Rune. That's going to have some spells in it. But the big thing is you want the Sacred Tear. So grab that. And now we are going to head south from here. Going to do our run through Mistwood. Grab the goodies that we need to grab. Few things we want to make sure that we get in Mistwood. There will be a combat remnant coming up. There will be a stone that we want to get. There is a merchant, and then there's a golden seed. So pretty good stuff. And then obviously the graces so that you can come back if you need to. I like getting my fruits and veggies as I run along, and my excrement as well. It's very important. Alright, watch out for the big rune bear. He's not the nicest. Just run right by him, get the item. Grab the thin beast bones. And if you come up here, there's going to be a little scarab right here. He's going to have an item in there. can hit it and not get killed by these guys. Uh-oh, 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 they don't like me. They don't like me. Heal up, heal up. Oh, I just propped the boss too. Large Somber. We're not going to fight the boss. We probably could, but we're not going to. The main thing is get that large Somber stone. And then get out of there. And we'll grab the merchant. I ran by the ruins. We'll want to go back to the ruins in just a second, but we're here at the merchant. He basically sells crafting stuff, so you know, if you want to get crafting materials, he's a good one to have. Grab his bell bearing. Now we're gonna go back to the right there. The ruins that I ran by because I was scared of all those dudes killing me. Oh, this way. Now there's gonna be another big bear. He's sleeping. Same as base game, pretty much. But you want to just jump down in here. Open this up. Get the chest. Grab your combat remnant. Perfect. And then we get out of there. Grab these Trina's lilies if you want. They're good to have. Bear's still sleeping. Sleepy bear. Didn't even realize I was in there. Okay, then we'll go south toward the fort. What is this item? I don't even know what that... Oh, there's another path. So this is where the marksman starts, so if you're a marksman, you would have started there. It's always fun to collect the other path stuff, too. And we will grab the Grace up here. And then we're going to go grab the Golden Seed from up here. Run by everything. We haven't even fought anything yet. We are simply just running and collecting. Golden Seed. The other cool thing about the mod is even when you're in combat, you can fast travel. So we're going to go back to the Third Church America here. Alright, so now that we are back, we are going to head to Dragon Barrow. And we're going to take the same Waygate that you can take in the base game. Right back here. Head right over there. And you will notice something slightly different when we get here. And that is no Blackblade Kindred. Kinda nice. He's here somewhere, but he's not here. He's in a new area. Out behind this building and down below. We will not be fighting him right now. We're just going to grab this Grace. We have it. And then we're going to run around and do more collecting. Head right down. Grab the golden seeds. Okay, golden seed there. And then we'll head over here and grab this Grace. Easy peasy. And then we will run past this dragon. If you're feeling up to it, you can run right between his legs. He won't even do anything. He's just going to scream very loudly and be intimidating. Yep, we see you, Grail. We see you. We're not afraid of you. You make loud noises, but we run right by you. Okay, so then we're going to veer left here. There is a nice little graveyard cemetery with some runes for us. We will gladly accept. Golden Rune 8. And you get a Baldachin's Blessing. I'm not sure why, but you do. So grab that. And then jump on down to the Spirit Spring. And we'll go grab this Grace real quick. And then we're going to head up and we're going to grab the Memory Stone up here. Important to get some Memory Stones, especially if you're a spellcaster. You'll want to open up some slots for spells. Having like 5 or 6 spells on at least at a time is pretty good, I'd say. And wow, I butchered that. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. And then we fall right down. Nothing different about the base game. Same Lenny's Rise as the base game. Go on up here to the elevator. And head on up. Open up the chest. Grab the Memory Stone. Alright. So from here, we are going to... Just checking my notes here. Alright, we got everything in Dragon Barrow. Now we're going to go back to Fort Hate. We are done with Dragon Barrow. Back to the Fort Hate West. And we are going to head into Weeping from this way. And luckily for us, we do have another graveyard that we can loot. Watch out for the wolves. They're not too scary, but they're there. We just want our golden runes, boys, and then we'll get out of here. There. Okay, then we head up. Even more wolves up here. Oh, I see another golden rune. I want all my golden runes. Grab them all. Alrighty. And we're just going to cross over into Weeping. And I don't want to get hit by the ballista, even though it's going to try to hit me. Grab this item. There's a great smithing stone, definitely want that. Grab the Grace. And we continue on. And we're kind of just going to cruise through this. You can talk to... Is this Cyrena? I forgot what her name is.
Hello? Might I bend your ear? My name is a servant. But I swear my good father decided
Okay, I didn't mean to do that. You can do her quest if you want. I don't do Convergence mod for the base game quests, but feel free to if you'd like to. I just wanted to see what her name was. I think it's Irina. But it didn't tell me. Grab some items on the way up here. Golden rune. Smithing stone. Fragments. You can get that bug if you want. It's the Mighty Shot Ash of War. I've never even used it before, so I don't even bother getting it. There is a Knight's Cab. It's nighttime. We're not going to fight him. We're going to get ourselves the Grace. And we're going to talk to the merchant. And we'll get the bell bearing here. He has mainly crafting stuff as well. So just get the bell bearing if you want it. Then for another memory stone, we will fly up here. Get these items first, which are now a sleep pot, kind of random, but we'll take it. and a warming stone. And then, still got the same puzzle as base game. Seek 3 wise beasts, they all should be in the same location. 1. Oh, I missed. I missed again. How is that even possible? 2. Third one's in the water. Yeah, I missed him. I felt him, but I missed him. There we go. Seal in the Rise is opened. Up the ladder. Up we go. Another memory stone. Alright, then back to our herbalist merchant here. Now we're going to head down to Castle Morn. We're not going to go in Castle Morn, but we're just going to head that way. We will avoid the Knight's Cab, hopefully. Yep, he jumped right over us. And most important thing here is the Golden Seed. Want to make sure we grab that. And look at Castle Morn. Looks slightly different, doesn't it? It is a Tier 1 Legacy dungeon now. They have completely overhauled it. Looks amazing. I definitely suggest you venture in there, even if your path of your class doesn't tell you to. I'm just going to grab the Grace so we have it. But we're not going to be doing Castle Morn yet. Even though it looks inviting, doesn't it? It looks pretty cool. So grab that, and then we'll just head down to the beach, because there is another smithing stone we can grab. Get those things. Surrounded by jellyfish. Angry jellyfish, too. I don't like the angry jellyfish. I like the blue jellyfish. A couple items here. Somber. And a great smithing. We'll take them. And then we're just gonna teleport back here. Alright, so now a few churches to go to. We'll start off going straight up to the Madness area. We do want to get the Sacred Tier that's available to us. Might as well collect any items along the way. Madness rats are abound. Wooden shield. Fingerprint seal. Path of the Frenzied Zealot. So if you're the Frenzied Zealot, that's where you would start. But our main thing is the Sacred Tier in here. And a Somber Stone, we'll take it. And then we just get right out of there. Mission accomplished. Now there should be a Spirit Spring over here we can jump right down to. Should see it shimmering. There it is. Head right over, jump right down. Woo! I love that you can do that. We'll grab this Grace, why not? I usually never need to travel to this location, but it's good to have as many Graces as you can have. Now we're just going to head across to the other couple churches, and then one more merchant. And then we should be good with Weeping. Free golden rune, we'll take it. Alrighty. Oh, Sacred Tear, perfect. A couple more items over here you can grab if you want to. Not necessary, but since we're here, you got an Iron Shield. And then if you are the Necromancer, I believe this is your starting location. Get the Blighted Branch and the Path of the Necromancer. Now we're out of here. One last church. Just casually strolling through the lands between on a rainy evening. Can't go wrong. Now you can go down into this ruin and get the things that are there. It's nothing crazy. It's not a remnant or anything. I think it's the that base game weapon. I can't think of it right now. The holy weapon, and then some page gloves. So feel free if you want. The enemies are just kind of annoying, and I don't want to deal with them right now. We are gonna head to the 4th church here, though, and grab the Draconic Epitaph, the Grace, and of course our Sacred Tear. So we've collected quite a few golden seeds and Sacred Tears so far, which is great. That's probably honestly all we would need to get going on our path, but we're gonna get even stronger after we get this merchant here. Now you notice over to the right there's a new little area over there you can explore. No new boss or enemies really over there, but just a new place to explore with some items and stuff. So if it's your first time playing the mod, check it out, definitely. But there's nothing like overly crazy about it.
Well, there's been how can I?
Alright, so he sells more crafting stuff. We'll just get his bell bearing. And now we will finally head to the Roundtable hold. Actually, you know what? One thing I forgot to do. Just make sure. Yeah, one thing before we go to Roundtable, I want to go back to Stormhill, because since we got Altus access, Rodrika should be gone. And she is, and she left us a golden seed, which we definitely want. Now we will go to Roundtable. Now we're going to do some upgrading. First, we will do all our flasks. Add charge to flask, add charge to flask, add charge to flask, add charge to flask. Replenish flask, replenish flask. Again, that's probably enough to get you started. We have 9 flasks total. And I think we're at, I don't know, we're at +6. Hell, +4. The other cool thing you can do when resting at a grace, you'll notice on the bottom, you can consume all runes. So if you want to consume all your golden runes at once, you can do that. And that leaves us with, what do we just get from that? 22,000. Not bad. So now we can talk to the Twin Maidens. And offer all our bell bearings that we got. And if you want to purchase another memory stone or the lantern or anything like that, all of that is available now. I am just going to go upgrade the weapon first and then level up, and then we're going to be on our merry way.
You're a new nomad allowed. You're
Alright, so we have 5 smithing stones. And I need one more to get it to a +3. Which I can go back to the Twin Maidens and get one from them. And I think we'll probably be able to get it to a +5, because I believe I have a few larges. One of the bell bearing. Yep, here we go. There's a smithing. Grab that. Still have 20k runes, so we should be able to do some good leveling here.
Back over, no matter.
There we go. We have one large, and I need one more large to get it to a +5. But +4 is perfectly fine for right now. And now we're going to go level up. So let's do that. I'd like to get my vigor going. And would be nice to be able to single hand this weapon. I'd get 24 strength. Do I want to do that, or do I want to get endurance going too? Being able to one hand might be nice. We'll do that. We'll do vigor and strength. How about that? Confirmed. Alrighty, so we've done quite a bit of stuff here. So now at this point, we are going to do one more thing actually before we leave. We are going to do our remnant crafting. So we have a combat remnant, an heirloom remnant, and our warding remnant, which is our starter gift. Starting with the combat remnant. This is what you have to choose from. Now, because of my guy, the warrior jar shard is always a good option. Actually, maybe that's what I'll go with. With the berserker, you know, you could also go with maybe the axe with the enhancing charged attacks. But maybe I'll just go with the warrior jar shard. Keep it simple. Heirloom remnant, this is where you can get your boost to specific attributes. Raising strength and dex I could do. I might just raise strength even more. Then warding remnant. So these are the powerful ones that I was talking about. So boosting all non-physical damage negation while guarding. Increasing poise. Non-physical damage negation. Lots of good choices here. I'm going to keep it simple, I think, and just go for physical damage negation by 10%. I do want to point out these immunizing horn charms and curative horn charms. These grant immunity to specific status effects, not just, you know, negating status effects. They give you complete immunity. So if you're in a poison swamp and you have this on, you're not going to gain any poison at all. If you're in the Lake of Rot and you have the curative horn charm on, you're completely immune to rot. You can just run through the lake without worrying about a thing. Very cool addition to the mod, in my opinion. I have not tried the bleed one. I'm curious if the bleed makes fights like Moog a lot easier. I'm sure it does. I've never tried it. And then Frostbite and Madness and Sleep. Those could be very powerful. But I'm just going to go with physical damage negation for now. Get that going. I gotta make sure to put them on. I always forget to put them on after I acquire them, but right now I am not going to forget. So we'll do that. And I think we're good to go. So right now, since we are pretty well leveled up, we're going to go back to South Raya, Lucaria. And from here, we're going to do a little jump down. If you're not familiar with this jump, it is a handy little shortcut. You can just come right here and then do a quick double jump onto this rock. And just takes you right down below. Now there is a rune bearer behind me. I'm just getting out of there so we don't even look at him, but there is one there, so be careful. And we're just going to do some more looting of a graveyard. Hopefully not die while I do it. Another Baldachin's Blessing. And head this way. Give me my loot so I can get out of here. Oh no. Poison and all sorts of stuff going on. I'm probably going to get poisoned here. Nope, we survived. Alright. So we'll get out of there. Now we are heading... We get another golden seed. Right here at Academy Gate Town. Grab that. Then from here, we want to go right to this gazebo, except it's not exactly a gazebo anymore, and I will show you what it looks like now. Actually, you can see it from here. 2 big towers. What could it be? Oh, we will find out in a second. And this is going to be our first combat of the run-through so far. So get your axes and your spells ready, because we're about to fight somebody. It's not a boss. It's kind of just a regular dude, but... You see this little thing? You want to examine it, and then it's going to spawn this guy. And we're going to fight him. We got a little war cry action. Already did some decent damage to me. I got to be a little careful. Nothing we can't handle, I don't think, though. Got him. Okay. So once he dies, this is going to open up. And we can examine the seal. And it's going to take us to the top, which is the Rest at the Grace. We can see the actual name of it. Lucarian Nexus. Add our charge to flask. So this is pretty cool because what it allows you to do, let's get rid of this here. You can travel pretty much anywhere to Liurnia from here. So instead of having to run around on your horse, because Liurnia is huge. If you look at Liurnia, it's probably one of the biggest areas in the game. It's like 2x the size of Limgrave. Mountaintops of Giants looks big, but most of it is just like cliff that you can't even go down. Liurnia is huge. So this allows you to travel to specific sections of Liurnia very easily. And I wrote down what each of these takes you to. We're not going to go to all of them, but we're going to go to this one for sure. This takes you to Elleh, where you can get smithing stones. Let's see. The gargoyles take you to the 4 belfries. Is that the music sheet? I think that's the music sheet. That takes you to the south of the converted tower. The pot takes you to the village of the Albinarics. The paintings take you to Tops in South Liurnia. And there's also a church there that we're going to go to. The astrologer globe takes you to outside of Liurnia Tower. And you've got the mage holding this bowl. That takes you to the Church of Vows. Then the guy in the tree takes you to the Bellum Highway. And that's all of them. So we're going to start with Elleh. We'll examine this one first. And Elleh is important because he will sell you unlimited smithing and somber stones. So if you get a new weapon and you're out of those stones, or none of the merchant bell bearings have anymore, just go to Elleh and load up on stones there. You'll also have access to Caria Manor from here, which is good to have now that it is also a legacy dungeon. And you can see in the distance, Caria Manor looks a little different. Got some snowy, icy trees in the background, so a lot more to it now. But here's Elleh.
Well, I presume.
And I don't think he sells great stones. I'll just double check. Yeah, he only sells regular smithing and somber, so basically get your weapons to +3 with him. I now officially need large stones, so won't be needing Elleh quite yet, but good to have the grace. We're going to go back to the Lucarian Nexus. And let's hit up Tops. Wherever the paintings are, right here. We'll go to the church. We're not going to talk to Tops, but we're going to go to the church and grab the tier. The sacred tier, that is. Here we are. Sacred Tear. Head back to the Nexus. And now we're going to head to the Bellum Church, which is straight ahead. Takes us to the Bellum Highway. Then we'll just jump down and go to the Bellum Church. Grab the tier there. And there we go. So we'll go upgrade those, and I think that gets us to a +6 flask. Yep, +6. Awesome. Okay, and we have 10 total flasks, so we're in really good shape at this point. But we're going to go even further. Now it looks like it is time to kill our first boss. So we're going to go back to Liurnia Highway South. This is one of the easier ones that you can kill. You could go back to Mistwood, where there was that boss fight started to pop up for me. These are probably two of the easiest ones, just to get out of the way and get these waygates open. But if you head north from this grace, there's going to be a big old crab that we can fight. It is a boss crab. And you can see that little minor Erdtree straight ahead. That's where the crab's going to be. There he is. He's all crystal-like. Head right over to him. And we're going to fight him. Oh. He's being more aggressive than normal. Is he going to kill me? Am I going to die? He killed me. Wow, of course. Of course I do a walkthrough and I die to the crab boss. While all other times I never have a problem with him, but that's just the way it goes. Alright. Back to the crab. Luckily we had a stake there. Do want my runes. And you can just run over your runes, which is nice. Same as all the other items you can pick up. You don't have to press a button. Wow, this crab is way more aggressive than normal. Okay, buddy. I just gotta get my timing down. I feel like my armor is not doing so hot. There we go. Big stagger. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's what should have happened the first time around, but, you know, whatever. So, you're going to get some Essence Physick Remnants, Prowess Physick Remnants, and Elemental Physick Remnants. Now, these are what you will put into your Wondrous Physick. So, if we rest at the Grace here, and go to Remnant Crafting, you can see these three things we just picked up. And for each one down below, you can choose which type of tier you want to put in your Physick. So there's a lot of new ones here with this Essence Physick. You can get mixtures of Strength In, Strength Faith, stuff like that. What do I want to do? Probably, I could just go pure Strength here. That's pretty much what my character is. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll go all in on Strength. Then you can boost Physical, Magic, Fire, Lightning, all that good stuff. We will boost Physical. And then, of course, you have these ones. So, enhancing charge attacks, make attacks more likely to break enemy stances. I do like that. And then you can mix your Wondrous Physick. You still can only use 2. So obviously, you can Remnant Craft as many as you want. So, I'm going to do... Let's do Physical and break enemy stances. That sounds good. Okay. So, what that also opens up, once you kill one of these bosses, are these portals. And you can now travel to anywhere in the game, including the DLC Realm of Shadow areas. And these are all the various places you can go. You know, there's a few in Limgrave, a few in Liurnia, a few in Caelid. Essentially anywhere in the game you want to go, you can now go to. You will need to fight a boss, so if you travel to one of those, you're going to have to fight a boss in order to escape that zone. And then you're free to roam after that. So just be prepared. Obviously, the higher scaled areas will have more difficult bosses. At this point, Limgrave, Liurnia, Caelid all should be pretty easy to fight them. Even probably Gelmir, and Altus has some tricky ones. But we already have Altus access, so we're all set. Now on your map, you can also see where they are. So if you want to just see where those portals will take you, you can see, you know, where you'll end up if you use those. And then I guess we don't have Realm of Shadow open, so I can't show you that yet, but Underground also has portals. So if you need to go to Deep Root Depths, or Shifra, or Angel River, those are your options there as well. So pretty cool. I do like that addition, makes it easy to travel around. But now we are going to head to Altus, so we're going to go back to the Abandoned Coffin in Altus Plateau. And we're going to do a little more looting. We're going to fight one boss. We're going to get some bell bearings, and then that's pretty much going to wrap it up. We will finish up by fighting Margit. Definitely optional, but I recommend Margit because it's usually the first boss you fight in Elden Ring anyway, and you get a good remnant from him that you can use in your talisman slots. So Lanciac still jumps down like normal, just run by him. And we'll grab this Grace. Then the Golden Seed. Now, if it was harder to get to Altus, I wouldn't be focusing on this, but since it's so easy to get to Altus in this mod, you might as well come here and just get some of the stuff to make you even stronger. Now, if you want more of a challenge, obviously you don't need to be doing all this, but I feel that the beginning of the mod is harder than the end of the mod. I feel like the enemies are scaled higher than the base game in the beginning areas. So you just want to be prepared for that, and this will obviously get you prepared. Probably a little over-prepared, but, you know, better safe than sorry. Okay, so we'll grab this Grace, and then I guess we'll go east first. We'll go up towards the capital. I don't think I need this item, but I'm going to get it anyway. Old Fang. Yeah, so we'll go up into the capital first. Mainly to get the golden seeds, and then this is going to take us to the tunnel where we can grab a bell bearing. And these bell bearings we're going to grab here are important because you can get your large smithing and your large sombers. Basically getting your weapons to +5, +6. So if you find new weapons along your path, you'll easily be able to upgrade your weapons to +5, +6. You know, between EG and these bell bearings, so good to have right away, so you're not, you know, fishing around for stones too much. And then later in the game, obviously, you can find the other bell bearings. And as you're going along, I'm sure you'll find more stones and stuff that you can use to upgrade your weapons. But just kind of having these entry-level ones to start is helpful. Alright, so there's only one golden seed here now. The other one is a rune arc, which is fine. Plenty of golden seeds that we're going to find throughout anyway. Let's grab that Grace. Then we're going to head down. Into the tunnel over here. A little bit of torrent riding simulator, but nothing too crazy. I Again, at this point, if you're feeling comfortable enough and you want to just start on your path, feel free to do that. You're probably plenty strong to take on some of those first dungeons and things. But I'm just going to point out the other, I guess, things that can help while we have access to Altus here. Get that grace. Go through the hidden wall. And this one's nice and easy. Just gotta run down and open a chest. Dodge all these guys. Like so. Get the bell bearing, and then we're out of here. Back to Altus Highway Junction. Now we will head north. Grab this golden seed. Getting plenty of golden seeds. I think we're going to end up with 13 out of 14 flasks that you can ultimately have. And we will head over to this church first. Grab the sacred tear. And there will be a dude that spawns, just ignore him. Don't need to fight him. And then head down. There should be a Spirit Spring right there. I don't think you even really need it, it's a short jump. So this area is going to look a little different. You got these Nox folks hanging out. We will not be focusing on that right now, but I think if you're the Nox Oracle, this is probably part of your path. You gotta imagine. There's a scarab there. I don't know what that is. It might be a stone. Might be worth getting, but I'm just gonna run by it for now. Grab this grace. Then, what should we do first? We can either do the church or the tunnel. So there's the other church there, there's the tunnel there. I guess let's do the tunnel first, get that out of the way. Which is, I want to make sure I don't go by it. It's up there. There's a spirit spring here. That's gonna take me way up. I guess since we're way up, we'll do the church. And we do have the merchant here.
Oh, are you here as a customer?
Where your bell bearing. It's got a few goodies if you want them. Nothing I'm too crazy about right now. Okay, Spirit Spring. Woo! I think that's a new one in this mod. I don't think that Spirit Spring's normally there. It's kind of a nice quality of life one. Oh yes, and there's another cemetery, so more looting. You will have plenty of runes by the end of this without even really killing anything. Plenty of runes just from looting these cemeteries. Watch out for the lightning rams though, they can kind of be dangerous. Alright, and then the church is right over here. Grab the stuff. Especially the sacred tier, and then head back down. I guess we can go this way. I'm just gonna use all my seeds and everything right now, because we are gonna go fight a boss. It's gonna be the Stallion Duo, which isn't too terrible of a boss, but you know, we've got all the flasks and stuff, might as well use them. I could go back to Roundtable and upgrade the weapon even higher too, if I was feeling it, but we're probably leveled enough for this fight. Alright, make sure I'm going the right way. Yeah, I think so. Right up this hill. Man, those worm face things make weird sounds. I never really noticed that before. Kinda disturbing. Am I going the right way? Yeah, okay. Always gotta check myself before I wreck myself. Alright, down the elevator. Good thing about this tunnel is there's a quick run to the boss. Obviously you can run through and loot stuff if you want. I'm just going straight to the boss. All we want is that bell bearing. Just run on through, avoid all the dudes. Literally straight. There are some stones you can grab. Maybe I should grab some stones, but oh well. Eh, what's that one? Yeah, we got a large smithing. We could use that. Then we head in. Boss time. We have our Physick flask set up so I can drink that. Now we gotta crush some crystallians. I like going for the spear one first. I feel like that's my go-to method. There we go. Broke that one. Okay, one down. One to go. Try War Cry on you. See what that does. It whiffs, that's what it does. Nope, well, that worked. Big damage. Okay. Stallion down. Sombertone miners, and you get Moonveil here. So if you're looking for Moonveil, that's where you get it. Okay. That pretty much does it. The other thing to point out, actually, real quick, you can see the bosses that you have either encountered or fought, and it'll tell you if they're alive or not. There are also maps you can get along the way, and if you get a map, you can turn it into the map guy. Actually, at the Roundtable hold, which we'll go take a look at Roundtable for a bit. We haven't looked at that. And then if you hand in a map, it'll show you where every boss is on the map. So, kind of cool. Alright, so we're at Roundtable. Major new stuff in Roundtable. Jump down. This is now a place where you can test out stuff. You got a testing dummy here. And you can just go to town on. If you want to test out spells or weapons or whatever, that's where you do it. You can change the settings of the testing dummy right here. You know, dummy type, scaling, health multipliers, all that good stuff. You can change your own settings. You can also change your spells and physick and all that stuff. You can apply dyes and transmog armor. You probably noticed that when I was sitting at Grace's as well. If you want to change just what your armor looks like, you can do that at any time. Very cool. If you want to refight any bosses, you can also do that right here at this book. Obviously, I have not fought any bosses, so we can't refight any yet, but that's where you would do it. Then in here, there are different torrents that you can find throughout the world. Here's our torrent right here. We can give him a nice little pet. Hey, buddy. Stinky mule. But there's 3 others you can find. Here's like the Knight's Cab one. Left behind at the Capitol. Tells you where you can find them. Then outer wall of the Capitol. Pick that up. Why can't I pick that up? There we go. There's your Cipher Pada and your Tandra's Tongue. And then you got your magic torrent. The Divine Tower of Liurnia. So pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. And then the map guy is across the way. Over yonder. So if you find maps throughout the world, give them to him, and then he'll unlock all of the bosses you can find in that section of the map. So Very cool additions to the game, I must say. And everything's open in the Roundtable, so I think there's chests and stuff you can open over here. With some loot in them. This might be a crossbow. Yep. Crossbow and some bolt. But I'm just gonna go upgrade this weapon as much as I can. I think I need to go buy another stone, but let's see if we... No, I can. 3 more larges, I can get it to +6, so... With my bell bearings, I should be able to do that. We'll go over to the Twin Maidens. Hand over the bell bearings. And purchase 3 of these. There. Then I'll level up a little bit, and then we'll cap things off with a Margit fight. There's Rodriga. You can see she's chilling.
Back already, no matter.
Oh, and I do have a great smithing. So I can use that. I got it to a +7, even better. Margit should go down pretty quickly. Alrighty, so now... let's rest and level up and all that good stuff. And I want a little more endurance. I was noticing I was running out of endurance pretty quick there. That should be good. So level 22. +7 weapon. Almost all my flasks. +8 flask. One last thing to point out. If you want to go back to that starter area where the owl was and all that stuff, just go here. Examine. It'll take you back to the Sanctuary of Lost Knowledge is what it's called. So talk to the owl, all that good stuff happens right there. But for right now, we are heading back to Stormhill Shack, and we are going to go fight Mr. Margit. So slightly different path to get to him. We will go up here like normal, but you'll notice the straight shot is blocked off right there. So we got to go around through this stuff. And there's going to be dudes everywhere. You can just kind of run by them if you want. Grab that rune arc. Come over here. Bunch of dudes everywhere. Shouldn't need to kill all of them. These guys are going to come through. I'd recommend killing them, because when I turn around, there's going to be a big guy that we got to fight. Right there. So we want to be plenty prepared for him. I'm going to two-hand on him. And goodbye, sir. Alrighty, so now we're at Margit. We'll rest up. Probably can't level. No. Oh, you know what? I didn't consume all runes, did I? I can level. 16,000. Wow, I'm glad I did that. Okay, so let's get a little more vigor. A little more endurance, a little more strength. That'll do. And we're ready. In we go. Now, Margit's pretty much the same. He's a little more aggressive. I think a little beefier, I think. All the more reason why we wanted to run through and level up first, just so we're prepared for the moments like this. Especially in phase 2, you'll notice he's a little more aggressive. He's doing quite a bit of damage to me, actually. Wonder if this armor is not very armory. Yeah, of course I'm going to die to the bosses during a walkthrough. Happens every time. I wonder if I have anything better I can put on. Increases strength by 1, reduces weapon stamina cost by 2%. So here's the thing with armor that I forgot to point out. They all have special little buffs to them. So if you read the descriptions, it'll tell you what they all do. Could go Dreadnought. Might make me fat roll though, that's the only thing. Let's see. I'll put on the Dreadnought stuff. Still medium, okay. Gives me strength and endurance, which is nice. Yeah, we're good. We're medium. There we go. We look pretty cool, too. Alright, let's see if that helps with reducing damage. I also didn't drink my flask, did I? Just want my runes, Margit. There we go. 2 big ones. Okay, that should be a phase shift.
Thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
Ow, Margit. See, he's definitely more aggressive. Nice to have a ranged weapon here. But that's alright. That one always does just massive damage. Alright, I'm just gonna ultra heal here. We got plenty of flasks. There we go. Alrighty, we got him. No problems. Everything's good. Alright, so the main thing with Margit is you get this faint Relic Remnant and a Memory Stone. So, the faint Relic Remnant. We take a little resty. Go to our Remnant crafting. These give you some nice buffs. So you got the Runebear's Claw, increases all physical damage by 5. If you're a magic spellcaster, you got magic damage, you got fire damage, you got lightning damage, or holy damage buffs. These are nice to have. Later on in the mod, I think you get even more enhanced versions of these, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to grab the physical, because that's what my playstyle is here. And here you go. This rounds out your 4 talismans to start off with. You got some runes from killing the boss. From here, you're now ready to go on the path of the class that you started with. You should be able to kind of blitz through the first couple dungeons. I'm going to be putting out videos for each of those classes, so stay tuned for those. Appreciate y'all watching. Give a like if this was helpful. Maybe even subscribe if you're feeling it, or comment down below. Really appreciate it, y'all. And I'll check you in the next one. See you later.